up, guys? Zixxsa here with the Dmvdrakes, and I'm giving you the long-awaited yellow hybrid deck profile. Okay, just to break it down, this is a totally fun deck. It's not as sweaty as some other decks. There's no ruin mode in it, and there's no death X, which would make the deck better. I just like playing it for fun. So starting off, we got 4 copies of BT12 Koromon. Now I'm running BT12 Koromon because this deck is all about controlling the board. You want to just annihilate any rogue level 3s, 4s, 5s, or 6s you run into. And then the next security inherent effect from this Koromon gives you the ability to swing over a lot of threats with a lot of DP and also just get rid of floodgates. Probably the best egg. I tried using the Tokomon from BT14 and I wasn't really a big fan. Next up, probably the best rookie in the deck. 4 copies of EX3 Agumon. This is really good because it digivolves for free on the Koromon, or if your hand kind of sucks, you can digivolve for 1 and just choke. But if you have a Tamer out, you gain a memory start of your main phase. So when you raise, you automatically gain a memory. And an inheritable effect is really good because once per turn, when a yellow or red Tamer gets suspended on your turn, and you own the Tamer, you draw a card. So it's just really good extender. It gives you extra memory. It draws. It can choke. It just does a lot. It's a good card. All right. Second best rookie in the deck. 3 copies of starter deck 3 Patamon. This is really good because the inheritable. When a Digimon drops to 0k DP on your turn, when your opponent's Digimon drops to 0k DP, you gain a memory. It's just good because I play Rapidmon in the deck, and also because of stuff like this Koromon, it helps proc the gain of memory pretty often, honestly, plus some other Tamers and other options that I have help mitigate the memory gain too as well. Okay, we got 3 copies of BT14 Patamon. Not the biggest fan of this card, honestly. It's pretty mid. You can run floodgates in this spot if you would like. But the best thing about this card is, 1, it triggers Jet Sylphie, which is always good. You can gain a memory off Jet Sylphie, making it free. Also, the security knowledge is really helpful. Like, let's say I don't have like a TK or a Zoe turn 1. I could just raise this, look at my security, see what options I should do next, and then even if I don't hit anything, just the security knowledge alone helps me understand, okay, that's in my security. Like, let's say I have 3 hybrids in my security. I need to find a TK as quickly as possible to get the hybrids out. Let's say I have like a Venusmon in there. I need to, like I said, play a TK to get the hybrids out, or if I have even just hitting a Geo Gray or something just helps a lot. Okay, we're going to, that's it for the rookies. Now we're going to the level 4s. Playing 4 copies of Kazemon. The best hybrid so far because it's pretty neutral. The problem with Zephyr is it digivolves for 3 on a level 3 Digimon. And you don't always have a Tamer to go on, or sometimes you don't want to go into your Tamer. Sometimes you just want to climb the stack and raising. So let's say I have like a Patamon, I don't hit anything, and then I try to digivolve into a Zephyr. It's going to be for 3 and it's going to suck. So the Kazemon here is just to help mitigate that. Also, Kaze is just the hybrid. You know, the whole point of the deck is yellow hybrids. Moving on, 2 copies of Zephyrmon, and that's all the hybrids we're playing. Zephyr is not as good when you don't play a lot of Zoes. Zephyr is good when you have when you're trying to swing hybrid for game, but the way I play this deck, you actually don't need as many hybrids as you might think, and I'll show you exactly why. But the 1 slight digivolve helps for draw, and just to buff your security if you're in a tight spot. I have 2 copies of Rapidmon. It just helps remove early game floodgates or like early game searchers, or just helps swing over not rookies. Help swing over ultimates and megas. This 6K decretion plus the 5K decretion plus this Patamon makes this a 3 to Digivolve basically, and that helps you keep your turn. Also, it can poke because it has armor. So if you, which is cool, if you swing security after you Digivolve with this, it dies. You can just go into another one and then clear a lot of DP off a lot of Digimon. So that's really good. And I'm playing the 1 copy Geo Greymon. This is solid because this card obviously is really good just in any yellow or even red decks where just you could play out a red or yellow Tamer for free. You also get the on plays of the Tamer you play out with this effect, which is really solid. So everybody knows the combo by now of the Patamon, Geogray, Gain a Memory, free Digivolve stuff. Also, just because we were playing Agumon, and we Digivolve here, it's only 2. So now it's basically a 1 to Digivolve when I raise out. That's 2 there. I use the effect, search my security, and get more knowledge and more advantage that way. Moving on to the ultimates, we're playing 3 Rise Greymon. This is what I was talking about, how you don't need as many Tamers. The whole point of this variant of Yellow Hybrid is to spam as many Tamers as possible to trigger this Rise Greymon inheritable. This Rise Greymon inheritable says your turn, when you have 3 or more Tamers, yellow Tamers in play, this Digimon gains security attack +1. That's really good. And also when Digivolving, you can play a Tamer card, a yellow Tamer card for your hand for free. You don't get the on plays with this effect. This is really solid because this allows me to spam the board with Tamers and allows me to manipulate the Tamers in such a way that I can kind of do surprise combos out of nowhere. Like, let's say I have a Rapidmon, I swing with the Rapidmon, and I want to choke my opponent to 1, I could Digivolve into this, play down a Tai Ankari, or play down a TK Ankari, and then if they attack me, and they have, if they attack me just to do, like, chip damage or anything, and drop me to, like, less security to them, or even 3, because I played that Tamer down, I can gain a lot of memory. Also, this is just good to extend, and, it's also, just a really solid Digimon. I don't want to ramble too much. We're playing 2 copies of Rise Greymon X Antibody, a really good card. I was playing 4 Rise Greymon and then 3 of these, but I really like the 3-2 split. When you Digivolve into Rise Greymon X Antibody, you can play a Tamer and you can get its on plays, unlike this Rise Greymon. But when you Digivolve for 1 on top of your Rise Greymon, you can also neg 2k from a Digimon for each red or yellow Tamer you have in play. So if you have, and I had situations where I have like 6 Tamers out just because I spammed them really early game, I can Digivolve into this, nuka a Mega, and still keep turn, because at that point I've just set up myself up where I'm lower security than my opponent, or I'm at 3 security. I have enough memory to do what I need to do on my turn, or I have like a yellow memory booster, a training card, or a yellow training card. Also, for each Tamer you have in play, it gets 1k DP. I had this thing go up to like 13k once. It's pretty good. The only sucky thing about this is that it's 4 to Digivolve if you don't have a Rise. But because I have Tamer cards and yellow memory boost, it helps mitigate that. 1 Jet Sylphie. That'll be really interesting to see. I'm shooting this before the ban list came out, so before December 18th. So it'd be interesting to see if Jet Sylphie comes off. I doubt it, but if it does, then this deck list will be outdated, I guess. But anyway, Jet Sylphie, everybody knows what it does. It's slight Digivolves when you have a Tamer card in a Hybrid's Digivolution. Excuse me. Or no, yeah, a Tamer card in the Digimon's Digivolution. It decreases the Digivolve by 2. Actually, let me read this really quick. When you're a Digimon with a Tamer in its Digivolution, Digivolves into the hand. Well, that's interesting. It doesn't have to have necessarily a hybrid. I'm gonna cook with that later. Anyway, but when Digivolving, if you have a hybrid in its traits, in the Digimon's Digivolution cards, you trigger recovery +1. So if you have a Tamer, you get the decretion for 2. And if you have a hybrid, you get the Wind Digivolving. So that's why it's not too bad to just stay in raising sometimes. Because as long as you have a hybrid, if you Digivolve into Kaze or Zephyr, you will always get the recovery. And it's not restrictive recovery. If you're at 6 security, you'll go up to 7. Okay, going on to the Megas. 3 copies of Venusmon. Really solid Digimon. I could spend all day talking about Venusmon, so I'm just going to say this. When you have a Rise Greymon out and you Digivolve into a Venusmon and you trigger the Venusmon's Wind Digivolving effect that gives everything security -1 and you have like 3 to 4 Tamers out, you're basically going to win the game next turn. This is what I was saying where I said I don't really need as many hybrids as normal because the security attack +1 helps just get through the security early game a lot better. There'll be times when I raise the swing with a hybrid or swing with Rapamon, get the opponent down to 4, and because I controlled my game plan so well that at that point they are at like 3 security, and then I swing 2 checks with this, it lives because I decreased their security. I decreased their security Digimon's DP by 2k, and then I swing with a hybrid and then swing for game. It's really good. Also, if you're behind, it helps slow your opponent down, giving you an extra turn as well. The next Megas I have are just 2 Serafi. It's really good. When Digivolving, you recover regardless, and then when something gets added to your security, you gain security attack +1, and you give something -7k for the turn. This is just really good. It's helped a lot just getting rid of ultimates that's just lingering on board or clearing up Digimon that's DP are like still a factor. Like I didn't have enough hybrids or not hybrids. I didn't have enough Tamers or Digimon abilities to decrease the DP enough to where I can kill it, and this can I could top deck this and then just nuke the Digimon's remaining DP. It's really solid. Moving on to Tamers. Got 4 copies of TK. TK is probably one of the best. No, not probably. The best Tamer in the. Well, that's debatable. It's tied with another Tamer that's the best Tamer in the deck. This is good because basically when you're playing yellow a certain way, security is kind of sort of your second hand. So just looking, getting the security knowledge, taking out a hybrid or an ultimate that you may need, and recovering, which triggers the Patamon, is really solid. 3 copies of TK and Kari. I was playing 4 copies, but I felt like I was seeing it a little too much. This is probably tied with TK as the best Tamer in the game because when you're at less security than your opponent, at fewer security than your opponent, you gain 2 memory, which is really good because 2 so happens to be the Digivolution cost for hybrids. So if you're lower than your opponent, you're automatically basically getting a free hybrid in a way. And also when one of your Digimon attacks, one of your yellow Digimon attacks, you can suspend this this Tamer to give opponent's Digimon -1k. So that allows you to combo with the Koromon egg, and you can give something -2k. And if you have multiple out, that's like 4k. Plus all their inheritance, like the Geo Gray, you can decrease something to 5k to 3k and then pop it. It gives a lot of versatility to the deck, and it kind of punishes the opponent because if they hit it in security and you're at lower now, you automatically gain 2 memories. So that you can kind of manipulate what they do on their turn. They might have to give you a little less or a little more than they were anticipating or in their turns early because they don't want to go for a really big push and give you a lot of memory. Probably second best Tamer in the deck is Tai and Kari. This is a very good Tamer, not necessarily for the memory game, but for the ability where when I swing security with a Digimon, let's say I swing security with a Jet Sophie, I have 2 of these. I tap them. I can give the security -2 and then 4k for the turn. It just really helps allow my Digimon to survive. And that's kind of the main purpose of it, is just since I'm not playing the Kiaromon from BT14, I'm playing the Koromons. It also triggers these as well. So it's a lot of decent synergy in the deck. I've been playtesting this deck a lot, and I've been trying to get it just right. Cody. I'm iffy on Cody. It used to be a Spencer, Diamond, which is really solid. But the Spencer would end up, the blocker from the Spencer wasn't really that helpful. So I just switched it around for a Cody. Cody is good because start a main phase, when you raise, you gain a memory, which is always good. And if you have a Digimon with 2 or more colors and you attack with it, you can suspend Cody to get something neg 2k. So it doesn't come up as much because I don't have that many multicolored Digimon in the deck, but it's still a solid Tamer. You can switch this and another Tamer I have literally for any other yellow Tamer and you'll be fine. Final Tamer is just one Zoe. It's just nice to sometimes you still have hybrids and security, and Zoe's just kind of nice to Digivolve onto just to get the bonuses. It has an inheritable effect, kind of like Takuya, where on your opponent's turn, all your security Digimon get plus 3k DP. Also, when you snag a hybrid, it's like TK. When you snag a hybrid out of security, you get the recover. So it's really solid. Moving on to the options, I have 3 copies of physical training. I'm aware that they don't allow hybrids to Digivolve on the Tamers, and that's perfectly fine. The point of training cards, and this is why they're so good, the point of training cards isn't necessarily just to make cheap Digivolves. It can choke the opponent, it can pick up Tamer, it can pick up literally any card in my deck. It also gives me the access to go into my 5s and my 6s cheaper. Also, you can pick up training cards off of other training cards. So let's say I had like a Serafi in a training card off of a reveal. I can pick up the training card, bot deck the Serafi, and then play the training card again. It's just the amount of just flexibility and synergy these give you is really, really good. I could make a whole video talking about how busted training cards are, but that's not what this is about. This is a yellow hybrid deck list. We're running 2 copies of yellow memory boost. Kind of controversial pick, but sometimes you really just need memory, especially in this deck where it's very memory and Tamer focus. You're not always going to have enough checks for game. You're not always going to have enough memory to do what you need to do. So let's say you have like a Rise Gray in your hand, a Rise Gray X in your hand, and no Rise Greymon and a slight Digivolve into it. But you have 2 yellow memory boosts just sitting there chilling. You can crack both of these, gain the 4 that you need, and keep your turn going. And the last 2 cards in the deck are just 2 Wyvern's Breath. Lugamon is pretty spooky. Lugamon's pretty spooky. Burst decks are pretty spooky. Red Hybrid's pretty spooky. A lot of things. Well, this doesn't really stop Red Hybrid, but that's a whole nother conversation. A lot of things in this game are really spooky now. Sometimes you just need a bomb. You just need to get rid of things sometimes. And that's what Wyvern's Breath does. You can look at it as like a 7 cost option if you have a Patamon, but really you want this to kind of be in security. Sometimes I even take it out of security because if I'm playing against Red Hybrid, I'm like, okay, I know this won't proc in security, so let me just get it out. Maybe they'll hit a Tamer instead. That'll give me like a little bit more resources, because if they have the Alderman inheritable, what's the point of this? You know what I'm saying? So it has this versatility, but it definitely messes up Luga. It messes up Shine. Because if they swing with Burst Mode Marcus, they trash like a yellow memory boost, but then hit this, I can kill the Burst Mode. It has a lot of versatility. And that's going to be the deck, guys. I love this deck. If you really can't afford yellow vaccines, or you just want to play something kind of like anti-meta in a way, it's a lot of fun. Hardest matchups, I will say, would be anything that deletes Tamers. So Greymon is really terrible. I'm not playing Angemon because I just felt like it wasn't that good, honestly. Since I'm not playing like a full vaccine build, I swing with the Angemon, I can remove something, but I think I would rather just want, I would rather just want more hybrids and just, in the Geo Gray and the Rapids. So that's going to do it for the deck profile. Thank you guys for the patience when with making this. It took me a little while to get to it, but thank you for sticking around this long. Be sure to check out our channel. We have a lot of other deck profiles, gameplay videos, discussion videos is going up. We're really going to be kicking it into high gear with the content. So talk to you guys later. Peace.